back, we're now looking at the line graph and the subsequent questions that are given based on the diagram itself. Now, first things first, let me just say this right off the bat because I don't want any confusion. The line graph is completely different from the frequency polygon. So this has nothing to do with frequency polygons. I'm just making that very clear. So this has nothing to do with frequency polygons. As a matter of fact, if you notice that none of the lines are touching the x-axis, so that tells you right away that this is a completely different type of graph. This is a line graph. The frequency polygon is something completely different, so do not mix them up, right? This is very, very simple to interpret. Now, of course, before you try to interpret any graph, you need to read the title. It says amount of calculators sold. The horizontal axis is labeled year, and you have from 2001 to 2005. And on the vertical axis is quantity, and each number must be multiplied by 1,000 because the quantity is in 1,000. So this would be 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, and then the values in between, like between 6 and 8, that would be 7,000, etc. So let's go ahead and interpret what this is saying. So the line graph actually reflects the number of calculators sold over a 5-year period, and that is quite obvious on the graph. Now the first question says, let me slide this over a little bit. The first question says, how many calculators were sold each year? So let's get into that. In 2001, we can clearly see here that 2,000 calculators were sold. So 2,000 calculators were sold. Okay. In 2002, when you look at it here, 5,000 calculators were sold. Okay. So that's 5,000 calculators were sold in 2002. Why? Because obviously this would be 3, this would be 5, so all the intermediate values, that would be 9, coming across here, this would be 3. So it is very important to ensure that you read the graph very, very carefully. Now for 2003, let's get to that. 2003, which is here, you can clearly see that 9,000 calculators were sold. So let me just indicate that. In 2004, 3,000 calculators were sold. And finally in 2005, you can clearly see that 6,000 calculators were sold in 2005. So we have question 1 answered. Okay. So again, in 2001, we had 2,000 calculators sold. In 2002, we had 5,000 calculators sold. In 2003, 9,000 calculators sold. In 2004, 3,000. 2005, 6,000 calculators sold. Now question 2 says, what period had the largest increase in sales? Now, let's just look here. This will be 2,000. All of these trajectories here are indicating increase in sales. So this is 2,000, this is 5,000. So here indicates that there is a 3,000 increase in sales from 2001 to 2002. From here to here, this was 5,000, and this is 9,000, so this is a 4,000 increase. And from here to here, this is 3,000 and 6,000, so this also had a 3,000 increase in number of calculators sold during the period. So question 2 says, what period had the largest increase in sales? Obviously that would be from 2002 to 2003. So we just have to indicate that 2002 to 2003 had the biggest increase in sales of the number of calculators. All right, and you can clearly see that. So again, 2 and 5, difference is 5,000 minus 2,000 is 3,000. Here we have 5,000 and 9,000. Difference between those two is 4,000, and 3,000 and 6,000. Difference there is 3,000. Question 3 says, what period had the largest decrease in sales? Well, there's only one period that indicated a decrease, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines there are line segments, so to speak. So the only decrease occurred between 2003 and 2004, which is here. So that would be one instance of decrease. Obviously, that would be the answer for that question, 2003 to 2004. Okay, the final question now says, given reason, make a prediction as to what happened in 2006. Very interesting question. Now, if you look at the graph predominantly is showing signs of increase, right? With the one exception of what happened in 2003 to 2004. Maybe there was something that happened that year that affected the sale, maybe a hurricane, maybe something happened with the market at that period of time, but usually there is an indication of increase, which means that this business here is a very positive looking one. So I would think that between 2005 to 2006 there was another increase. So I think that there was an increase in 2006. All right. So maybe you have a different interpretation of that. You could share that. But based on what I'm seeing here, it would be an increase because the only instance of decrease occurred between 2003 to 2004. So basically there is a general tendency of increase in the sales of calculator. All right, gentlemen, I hope you found this video insightful, and I'll see you guys on the next video.